Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about NIO. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. Today we're going to be talking about Nio Stock. Is Nio Stock a good buy at $35.65? And why I personally think right now is a very good time to be picking up Nio Stock. I just want everybody to know that everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. So with that being said, let's get started with the video. So right now we see Nio Stock currently sitting at $35.65. And I am not going to lie to you guys, it has been a rough month for Nio Stock. If we take a look at the 1-month chart, it's down 20% of its value. Looking at the 3-month chart, it is down 38% of its value altogether, down $22. I mean, that's almost half of its value. People are wondering what's going on. Should I sell my position in Nio Stock? I don't understand why NIO continues to sink when we have all this good news surrounding NIO as an overall company. I just want people to understand that right now we are in a bear market, so people should not take the literal stocks falling as a general case. If we take a look at a lot of EV stocks, they have been falling. A lot of EV stocks have not been doing well. I mean, aside from Tesla, but even Tesla from its all-time highs is still down about 20%. But we do have some interesting things coming up from NIO, which I do think is going to take the stock to all-time highs. Obviously, we know that NIO is growing very, very quickly. For you guys who don't know what NIO actually is, NIO is an EV company based out of China. They produce luxury EV cars, pretty similar to what Tesla does. Like I said, it's just based out of China. So let's talk about NIO and what's been going on. So first off, NIO has actually been signing a couple of partnerships, which is very, very good. They've signed partnerships with a couple of people to put more battery swap stations all around China, right? So what's the importance behind this? And what really differentiates NIO among with its competition overall, and it's always been NIO's battery as a service, right? So NIO's battery as a service basically means that NIO puts battery swap stations all around China where people who can stop by these battery swap stations, get their battery swapped out in just 3 short minutes and continue on their way with a fully charged battery, right? So NIO expects to actually unveil its power plant next week in Shanghai, which is going to be absolutely huge. This is massive news for NIO because even though NIO stock is not doing well at all, we could definitely see that NIO as a company is still evolving, which is very, very good. It's what we want to see from an investment standpoint, which does make it an ultimate power play. Like I said, it may be tough to kind of invest in NIO stock because no one really knows where the bottom is. NIO stock continues to sink time and time again, and people do not really know what to do with the overall stock. But if we dive in and we take a look at NIO, NIO is still doing a lot of great things. NIO is still expanding. We actually got their deliveries at the beginning of the month, and as expected, their deliveries did very, very well. But things have not really been looking good for NIO stock due to a lot of things. Like I said, one, we're in a bear market. So generally speaking, in a bear market, stocks continue to fall, and it's kind of like a constant cycle of just sideways trading without, because no money's really flowing in right now. People are still kind of waiting from the sidelines, waiting for the bottom to kind of hit and then kind of ride the way back up. The thing about the market is you cannot really time the bottom, right? So, next thing you know, NIO could be on this nonstop rally for days and weeks, and people kind of miss the dip on it. For me, like I said, I do recommend people buy the dip on NIO stock. I do think it's absolutely worth it, and I do think that we're going to revisit those all-time highs of $65 to $70 back at the end of the year. For me, I see NIO as a high growth play altogether. I do think that NIO does offer a lot of long-term value. With the EV market continuously exploding, it's very explosive, and the EV market is growing very, very quickly, especially in China. NIO is an absolute steal of a buy, and I do know that NIO is going to be one of the top EV companies, especially in China as well. But in other news, aside from NIO signing more partnerships and NIO expected to unveil its power plant next week in Shanghai, we're also getting an inside look of the ET7 sedan, the interior look, which is also going to be super awesome. If you guys know what the ET7 is, the ET7 is NIO's first sedan that they're actually unveiling to the public. So that's also a lot of good news. So we definitely see that NIO does have a lot of good news going for it. There's been a lot of optimism around NIO aside from great deliveries, and now they're unveiling their power plant, their battery as a service, them unveiling the inside or the interior of the ET7 sedan. So things are looking up for NIO, but it's not really showing in the stock price. If you take a look at it, it's probably one of the biggest turnoffs of the stock altogether that all this great stuff is happening for NIO, but nothing is really going up for NIO as an overall stock. It continues to go down. It continues to trade sideways. People are getting scared. People are selling out. But I recommend you guys not to sell out. I'll go over my position real quickly with you guys. So for me, I'm holding 200 shares of NIO at an average cost of $37.02, currently down $275 on my overall position. In the meantime, I have been selling covered calls, which is a very good passive income strategy I like to do, and it kind of pulls me in a couple $100 a week. Selling covered calls when NIO's green and then it kind of goes red does benefit the covered calls play, if you guys are kind of familiar with that altogether. But for me, I'm still down a little bit of money on Nio Stock, but I'm not selling it. I'm adding more to my position every single time I get the chance because I do see the long-term growth in Nio as an overall company. I know that Nio does offer a lot of long-term value, but that's the thing. People, when it comes to the market, they lack patience. They lack due diligence. If you've done your research, you've done your due diligence on a stock, and you know that the stock is going to do well, there's no reason to second guess your overall investment. For me, I have not once doubted that holding Nio was ever a bad idea. I think that Nio, like I said, does offer a lot of long-term value. We've seen rising deliveries. We've seen analyst upgrades. We've seen Nio continue to expand. They're going to start selling cars in Europe by the second half of this year. Yes, like I said, the stock price has taken a little bit of a hit. Just like I said, due to a bear market, we also have that big chip shortage that happened in Japan, which took out a huge chip factory, which not only affected NIO and Tesla, but it also affected a lot of general car manufacturers as well. Ford, Nissan, General Motors, a lot of big time companies got affected by this chip shortage, but I think it's already factored in, and I knew in the coming months, we're definitely going to see a lot more uptrend for Nio Stock. Like I said, if I were to put a price target on Nio Stock by the end of the year, I do think that Nio is going to hit all-time highs. I do think the stock is going to hit $70, $75. It's pretty obvious to tell, you know, how fast Nio is growing as a company, how much money is actually flowing into the overall stock, and how bullish people are actually getting on Nio as an overall company. You know, like I said, it's a big EV time player. It offers a lot of long-term sentiment value. There's a lot of big-time investors behind Nio, a lot of retail investors behind Nio. ARK Invest has a lot of Nio. You know, there's people out there who are endorsing Nio. So Nio is too big to fail. Nio cannot lose in the long term. Like I said, it's getting rough. I understand people are losing money. Everyone is losing money, especially, you know, with the market instability. No one really knows when it's going to end. But once we do make it through this bear market, you guys would be happy to tell yourself that you bought the dip. And I can understand from the investment perspective as well. You buy the dip and then it dips more, and then you buy the dip again and then it dips more. You know, when is the low? When is the bottom? And like I said, guys, if you've done your due diligence, you know you cannot time the bottom of the market, but what you can do is pick high-term, long-term value plays that are going to pay off in the long term, and I can bet you guys that it's going to be awesome. Buy Nio Stock, guys, $35.65. It is absolutely worth the investment. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of Nio Stock. Do you guys think Nio Stock is a good buy, $35.65? If you guys own Nio Stock, how many shares do you guys own and what's your average? I'm always very curious to know. And if you guys own Nio Stock, what do you guys think is going to be Nio's price target by the end of the year?